Do you hate hiring in your business? Are you just tired of having to deal with unqualified candidates, hiring the wrong person, putting off firing someone because you don't want to hire again? Today, I'm going to show you the easiest way to solve all those problems in your hiring process. Welcome to today's training. I am Abby Johnson with Matterhorn Business Development. We are a family firm, as you can see here. This particular firm has been in business since 2017, but there is prior consulting experience before that, and we have helped over 40 different industries. So what I'm talking about today is not just specific to one industry. This is something that can be applied to any business. So first of all, why do you hate hiring so much? Why is it so painful? Well, I imagine that first of all, it's because you would rather be focusing on other business activities. You probably enjoy the delivery more. You might enjoy sales more, or maybe you just want to be a manager or a CEO and you don't want to be the one hiring. But the unfortunate truth is you might have to be the one hiring for now, unless you've gotten to a certain point in growth where you can have a full-time HR manager. It's something that's got to be done, and if you don't hire, it's going to hinder your growth. The other thing you might hate is that it can be perceived as a time-consuming and challenging activity. But that's my goal here today, is I want to make sure it's not time-consuming and that it isn't as challenging as it has been for you in the past. And I want you to think about how much time and money you've wasted by not hiring. So maybe you know you need to hire someone, but instead you're doing that particular job or task yourself. What is your time worth? It's probably worth more than the time and the money that you would pay for someone else to do that task. The other thing I see very often is there's someone on the team that needs to go. It's very obvious they're causing problems, not delivering, but I see business owners hanging on to that person because they just don't want to have to deal with hiring and replacing them. That person is probably wasting your time and money as it is. So we've got to get over that, and we've got to reframe this and figure out how to make hiring easier so that you can make sure you have all the right rock stars on your team in your business. So the first step here is you've got to be crystal clear on your purpose. If you need help on this, we've got other videos in our Fun at Work series if you look at our playlist. But basically, you need to know what the basic purpose is of your business. And this is who you are helping with your business. The purpose isn't so that you can make a bunch of money. The purpose is who and how you are helping your customer or clientele. So for example, a dental practice, you might just think, oh, their purpose is to make clean teeth or straight teeth. But if you ask my dad, who was a former practicing dentist, when he was a dentist, his purpose was to help people live longer, because people who have their teeth actually live longer than people who don't have their teeth. And in his small town in Indiana, everyone just wanted dentures and to be over it with it, but he wanted to help people keep their teeth and live longer. Now that's a pretty great purpose, right? So even though you might feel like, well, we just put on roofs or we just fix ACs. I mean, I can tell you, I live in Florida. The HVAC companies around here, we would all literally be dead without them. Like, you are keeping people alive with your air conditioning. So just think about really, truly what service you are providing. You might be literally putting a roof over someone's head. That is invaluable. So think about the purpose, and I want you to be excited about it. That's the first thing, is you yourself have to be excited about it. And this is just part of being a visionary and being the owner, the leader of a business, no matter how big or small. And then what you want to do is you want to communicate that purpose with your interviewees, whoever you're interviewing, and you can kind of gauge their excitement about it. I work with a few different chiropractors who are all very passionate about helping people be healthy and get out of pain and stay well. And I can tell you, if they have someone on their team that doesn't care about getting people out of pain, doesn't care about people leaving with a smile on their face, they're not the right fit for that place. So this is why you have to be crystal clear on the purpose and be able to communicate it to your applicants and see if they get excited about it. Because if they're not excited about it, they probably aren't going to be very engaged and probably aren't going to go anywhere near above and beyond for you in their role. So I want you to think about hiring is really just internal marketing. Hiring and marketing are kind of the same thing. You're putting something out there, which we're going to talk about, and you want someone to come and have some form form of an exchange with you. So when you're putting out an ad to get a customer, it's because you want to give them money, and in return, you're going to give them a service. In this case, if you're putting up a hiring ad, you want someone to come and you're going to give them money in return for their service. When you're doing hiring, you have to kind of have the same mindset and viewpoint as when you're doing other kinds of marketing. And I'm going to give you the same advice that I would give you for your other marketing. So for hiring, I want you to start with cheap or free advertising. Indeed, Monster, ZipRecruiter, I don't even know if Monster's still around, but these websites can get pricey. And unless you have, maybe I would say more than 10 or 15 staff, that's probably the range when you're kind of going to be hiring at all times. If you have less than 10 staff, you probably can find what you need without those. We're going to talk about that. But the point is start with your warm audience first, if you know that marketing term. Basically, people who you know, things that you know, not having to pay out for ads first. And then when you're doing hiring, you want to use language that draws in your target audience, just as you would when you're marketing. So I've talked before about doing market research to find out what your customer wants and needs so that you know how to communicate that you are providing that. You don't just build roofs, you build the high quality, reliable, on time roofs, right? Or you don't just provide cracking someone's neck and back, you provide longevity, getting out of pain. Most people want to get out of pain, and that's why they go to the chiropractor. So you need to use the word pain a lot, even if you don't want to. So with hiring, you've got to think about what kind of words are going to attract your target audience while being truthful about what the role is. And we're going to get into that a little bit more here in a minute. Okay, so finding the right candidates can kind of feel like finding a needle in a haystack. I get that. But as I just said, I want you to start with your warm network first. So these are people you know, and these are some free methods for finding a really great person. The first thing is ask your friends. Let your friends know you're hiring, send out texts, get out your phone, scroll through your phone book, and just start texting people. Even if you know they're someone who has a job, they aren't particularly looking themselves, ask them for a referral. Do you know anyone looking for a job? I'm hiring for this role, pays about this much, whatever it is. Because you're reaching out to people you already know, they're probably going to give you good quality referrals. You can't guarantee that, but you're more likely to like the people that they send you. The next place you can look at your good customers. Look at your favorite customers and you can hire them. My dad in his dental practice needed an office manager, and he had this patient that he loved and they got along really well together. And I don't remember the story of how it came up, but basically he ended up hiring her because she already knew the practice and liked it. He already knew he liked her and she liked him, and that they got along and could work closely together. And she became his office manager for many years and even transitioned and stayed on for many more years after he sold the practice to his associate. And she wasn't someone who was particularly qualified for an office manager position, as in she had done that job before, but she was smart, she was competent, and she was able to pick up on things, and he was able to kind of mold and train her into the office manager that was right for his practice. And there were no bad habits coming in with that hire. So think about people you've encountered if you're in a service type industry where you're working with the same kinds of people, or if you're business to business, this might be a little bit trickier unless you want to steal someone away from your client's company. But if you're a chiropractor or anyone, if you just come across someone you really like, throw it out there. I've even been in the drive up somewhere at like the smoothie shop or Starbucks or wherever. My dad has hired people from Taco Bell. He's hired people from the Verizon store, just because someone, you could tell just by talking to them that they were brighter and that they were there. So he would say, hey, if you want a bigger game, if you want to try something new, call me and, I might have a job for you. So think about that too. If you're out and about and you have like a really great waiter, obviously depending on what kind of position you're hiring for. If you're looking for a technician, an electrician, a plumber, don't hire a waiter. But if you're looking for a customer service type position, maybe even a sales position, and you find someone out and about who's really personable, go for it. They can make a transition, and then you can train them to do the job in the way that you want it done or that you have been successful doing, and you don't have those bad habits coming over. The next area is from other professionals in your network. So if you're already in a networking group, which is usually a great way to get business, you can obviously put it out to that networking group and say, hey, this is what I'm looking for. You can also just reach out to people that you know, your banker, if you used a broker, anyone like that, you can reach out and just say, hey, I'm looking for this type of candidate. candidate. And again, my dad was successful with this in that his broker was like, hey, I had this resume and she wasn't the right fit for us, but she was really bright. You might want to hire her. And he passed on the resume to my dad. So again, use your warm contacts, people you already know. Even if you think it's a little bit random to reach out to them, just say, hey, I'm looking for this type of person. I'm hiring for this type of role. Do you know anyone? And the last thing I forgot, and it's not on this slide, is there are some really great Facebook groups. Like around me, there's groups specifically for my town or the little town suburbs around me where people like to ask questions, ask for recommendations, or recommend a new restaurant in town, talk about things going on in the town. This is a great place to also put a free post, kind of like a little ad out of what you're looking for. I do feel like ads are the last resort. Again, unless you're a bigger company, over 10 employees, kind of always hiring, then you might need an ad just kind of up all the time. But I would do all of the strategies I just said first. And then if you're still having a hard time, then of course you can put up an ad. Just make sure that you write the ad in a way that's going to attract your ideal candidate. And what I mean here isn't just like, we are the best workplace ever and your boss is going to be awesome and everything is sunshine and rainbows. I want you to be honest about what the job is and what it entails. So for example, I had a dental client who had someone who just could not handle the high speed of her practice, and it was slowing down the whole practice because she said, I can't move that fast. I can't go from room to room. Like, it's too much for me. So she just wasn't the right candidate for that position. The dentist needed someone who could keep up with that, who thrived in those fast-paced environments. So for something like that, you want to write in the ad, our office is a fast-paced environment. You're going to be on your feet all the time. You're going to be talking to people all the time, blah, 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 whatever it is. And people who don't want to do that are going to be repelled by the ad and they're going to go, oh, I don't want to be on my feet all the time. And then they won't apply. And then you don't have to waste your time talking to them or hiring them and finding out it was a mistake because they knew from the beginning that they were not the right fit. And even on the opposite end, you can say, this is a desk job. It's data entry. You're going to be in a room by yourself, or you can work from home by yourself for many hours. You're only going to have to attend one meeting a week. And for introverts and people who like doing data entry and bookkeeping and stuff, they're going to be like, oh, great, this is a great fit for me. So be honest about what the job entails. And when you write your ad that way, it's going to attract candidates who are actually a right fit for that role. Okay, so this is the part that kind of stinks about hiring, is especially as a business owner, you've already got your hands in so many things. You've got so much going on in your head. You set aside time to meet with a candidate and then they don't show up. That is so frustrating. And I'm sorry if you've ever experienced that. So what I normally have people do here is kind of pre-qualify your candidates by giving them a little assignment. And this assignment is to have them send you a video. And I really feel like this works for any industry, even if you're in like a construction type industry, like someone should have the ability to send you a video and figure out how to do that and problem solve if they don't know how to do that. But basically with the video, you have them answer a few questions. Like you just say, okay, tell me your name, why you think you'd be a good fit for this job, and the third one, you can make a fun thing, like how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I've had people do how to do a tuna sandwich, how to make something else, I don't remember. And what's really interesting about this, I've had my clients do this and then show me the actual videos they send in, is you see someone's willingness, you see someone's attitude, and first of all, you can see if they can carry out an assignment. They can figure out how to send you a video if they don't know how to. You automatically see their personality and see if their attitude is going to be a good fit and if you actually want to interview them in the first place. Because I've had the reverse where clients showed up and they were hiring for a front desk position where you needed to be very presentable, and people would show up to interviews not presentable and already clearly not a fit. So this really eliminates a lot of the time by doing this little drill. But some examples of what I've seen people send in is, I've had one person that showed someone like, my name is Abby and I think I would be a good fit for this job because I can work really hard and I don't know how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And like that's the video they received. Now, again, this was for a front desk position, so that might not be the ball of sunshine that you want at your front desk, and you already know I'm not going to interview that person. Now, on the other hand, the same client got a video from a guy who literally edited the video together. He went in his kitchen and put on a chef's hat and was like, I'm going to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and got like super into it it. And that was great because her office was a super fun, upbeat environment and they needed someone like that. That's just an example of why this little assignment and this little test can be very valuable. Is you see right away, is this person going to work for you or not? And you can just cut them out and not even interview them. And then for the people who don't send you a video, they obviously don't want the job enough. They obviously don't care about you enough to do this. So that's on them. And you didn't waste your time chasing them up, following them up for someone who doesn't even want to come work for you. It's kind of like chasing after someone who doesn't want to go on a date with you. Like, is it really worth all that time? That might be a bad example. Sometimes that works out for people, but you get my point here. In summary, my point is, first, use your personal and professional networks to find qualified candidates, and then this will help you reduce your reliance on ads and not knowing the candidate. And then, of course, use the video assignment that I just went over to take down your no-show rate and find qualified, awesome rock stars for your team. I hope this was helpful for you. If you need help growing your business, getting to the top of your mountain, and making sure that you are profitable while you are growing, that is what we specialize here at Matterhorn. I want to help you grow your business, but I also want to make sure you're profitable and taking home the money you should be taking home, and that you understand your financial position without needing to know some crazy accountant jargon. So if you'd like to learn more, I encourage you to go to Adventure to Profit. This is our online course and community. There's also a place on that page where you can book a call to talk to a member of our team. And of course, I highly recommend checking out Metapulse.com. They are our channel sponsors. This is a software that will handle everything you need for the growth of your business. I use this with myself, all of our clients, to make sure the business is on track and easily be able to spot what is working or not working. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.